Good morning, welcome to Caravan Escapades. I hope everybody's keeping safe and well. It's a reasonably fresh Saturday morning. I think it's just gone 9 o'clock. Claire, myself and Darcy May decided to come down to the caravan and bring some of the bedding back and that sort of stuff that we've vacked down that we used last time we were away. And what have we discovered? We've discovered a flat tyre. So let me go and show you. So let's take a walk down here and see what the problem is. It's the rear tyre. Yeah, I can see what the problem is. It's flat on one side. Yeah, that's a slow puncture. It's only been, oh, that is quite flat. It's only been a few weeks since we've actually been away in the caravan. Motor mover's not connected, anything else like that. So I'm kind of wondering whether we've picked up a nail, that sort of stuff. So we're going to need really to get this sorted, get this off, get it jacked up and take it for repair. So what I'm going to need to do is I need to get the jack out, jack the caravan up, or at least on that one side. Thankfully we've got the Kojack system fitted and I'll show you that as well. What I'll do is I'll raise the steadies. Well, I'll go through this with you anyway. So we'll jack the caravan up, we'll get that wheel off and we'll take it and see if we can get it repaired. Okay, what I'm going to do first actually is I'm going to take the steadies up on the opposite side of the caravan. The reason being for that is because as we jack it up, it's kind of go over that way and it's going to put pressure on those steadies. So I'm going to raise those up. If you can, for more stability, actually when jacking the caravan up, particularly with single axles, just to give it a bit more stability, you can actually connect it to the car. So connecting to the car will certainly help you out. But let's go and jack those steadies up. So that's the steadies raised. Let's go and have a look at doing the tyre. So first thing I'm going to do is actually remove the Alko lock. I can get the key in there and get that sorted. There we go. So let's get this removed. I shall just go to the front locker and get the bits. Get the key in there. Get that one done. Let's put that away beside there for now. And what I'll do now is I'll go and get a socket just so we can loosen off those nuts before we actually jack the caravan up. So all I want to do at this point is obviously just crack the nuts off, just so before we can, there we go, just before we jack it up. These are torqued, or they were torqued up, and obviously it is something I will be doing once the wheel goes back on, and you'll see is we'll use the torque settings, or sorry, the torque wrench with the correct torque settings and torque that back on. Right, let's get the jack out and look at jacking it up. So if I can show you here, this is the Kojack jacking point. So I'll go and get the jack so we can put the jack on in a moment. The reason we had the Kojack jacking point put on was because unfortunately with the twin movers we weren't able to get the Alko jacking points on. It just wouldn't fit, but the Kojack did work. So I don't know how well you can see this from under here, but I've got a slightly annoying issue. The handle obviously catches with the crossbar for the motor mover, and I didn't realise that before, so maybe it's not quite as good as I hoped. But anyway, we're moving. And the Alko jack basically designed so it fits into this receptacle. The arm, we're probably at a slight angle there, so we're going up. Well, now that's the thing, now we're obviously clear, it's easier to jack up. So You know what, I'm going to try and reposition this, actually bring it down and reposition it. So I must interject in the video here. What I've been doing there, where I'm jacking up, is actually taking a bit of a risk. It's not the safest way to do it. As you can see, the ground isn't level. I can't get the jack in there kind of nice and level and straight and that sort of stuff. And what I should have really done is taken all the locks off and actually just pulled the Caravan forward onto a level ground. It's possible to do it here at the storage. I've probably only got to pull the Caravan forward 2 lengths and I'm on some hard standing concrete. So what I advise is don't take risks. If you can't jack it up properly or if you can't get your jack underneath there properly, either use another method, try and level out the ground, or at least try and move that Caravan, try and move the Caravan a little bit further forward so you can get it on a better solid ground and you can jack it up a lot easier, because you do need that jack secure, and you can see that I quite didn't have it like that. So shouldn't do it like that. I've made a mistake. I took a risk that probably I shouldn't have done. But yeah, stay safe when jacking your Caravan and take all the precautions. Positioned a little bit better. It's a bit awkward with the surface we've got here to get it level. Let's give that a pump. And we'll keep pumping till that's off the floor. There we go. So that's off the floor. So let's and off she comes. So let's just put that there. What I'm going to do is just put these back inside here, at least so we know where they are. They're not going to get lost. So what I'm also going to do now is just take the pressure off the jack. Obviously we've got, in fact let's just roll that out of the way a minute. So we've obviously got a twin axle van, so it will still stand. So not, rather than just leaving the pressure on just the jack, there we go. So we'll leave that there. But I'm going to leave the jack just in place anyway. So let's just take a look at this tyre, see if we can see anything obvious. Is that it? Or is that just a little bit of a stone? Don't know, maybe a little nail in there. Don't know. Difficult to really see anything. Ah, there it is. There's the culprit. Can you see it? Nail in the tyre. So at least where we know what it is, and at least it's right in the middle, not towards the sidewalls. So that's the wheel off. Let's go and find a tyre place that will repair it for us. Hopefully they'll repair that puncture. One thing I did probably forget to mention is apply the handbrake, or certainly that's what I do, is apply the handbrake definitely when jacking up the Caravan. But we're going to try and get this repaired and then we'll come back to you in a bit. So they're just going to change the tyre for me, they'll fix it with puncture anyway, so I'll try not to get in the way, but I'll record what I can. There we go, I'm getting in the way already. Basically what they're doing in a minute is just breaking the bead, but obviously it's been on there for a while, so a bit sticky. It's proved a little difficult. So it shouldn't be too much longer now. The guys here are just kind of sorting it out for me. They did ask me to come in out of the workshop into the waiting area, just I guess for safety reasons, health and safety, that sort of thing. So that's the tyre all done, repair all sorted. The guys have sorted that out for me. There we go, you can see the repair in there. So that's a great job from Trademark. I'll put their details in the description below. Well, that's it, that's the tyre all fixed. Hopefully get that back on the van and we're all good to go. So that's good service from Trademark, quite pleased with that. As I say, I'll put their details down below and we'll go back, we'll get it fitted. So we'll get the caravan jacked up again so we can get the wheel back on. Let's get under here, let's make sure this is locked off. Start pumping again. What are we doing? I think that should be enough. So let's take these off again. Oh, let's drop through. So that's all 5. So this is always the difficult bit, just getting it all lined up. It might not be too bad. Oh. So that's one with a few threads caught. Get down so I can see properly. There we go. So what I'll do now is just spin these up, but won't properly tighten them. And remembering to kind of go opposites, not all the way around, just so the wheel pulls and tightens to the hub evenly. So what I'll do now is let the caravan down gently off the jack, as he says. So let's gently let that down. So that's back on its wheels now. We'll just get the jack out from underneath the caravan. Coming out very easily. There we go, just needs pushing up. There we go. So that's the jack out. And push down. So we'll push that to one side. So what we're going to do now is we are going to tighten using a suitable torque wrench. We're going to tighten the wheel nuts up to the right torque settings. So where do you find the torque settings from? Normally in your user manual, but also on your identification plate, normally located by the door. There's mine, and you can see it's telling me 32 psi for the tyres, and torque settings is wheel torque steel 88 newton meters. That's for steel wheel, or alloy wheel 130 newton meters. Right, so I'll come and do this in front of this camera here so you can see what I mean here. So you've got your torque settings on there, so you should always have, or you should always release the torque setting on your torque wrench when not in use. It just prevents the springs stretching and that sort of stuff. Now I get this checked at work. I get this calibrated at work annually, so I had it checked about 3 months ago, and everything's all right. So I'm literally going to turn up the scale. So you turn up the scale, so I'm looking for 130, which is 126 plus 4. So I shall keep turning that up there. Oh, need to loosen that off. Oh, let's turn that off again. Let's just loosen that out a bit. So it's 126 plus 4. So we're just up at the 126 plus the floor, and then we'll just lock that out there. So what we want to do now is we want to take the torque wrench. Now I've put a small extension bar on there anyway, just to ease, and we're going to go and we're going to twist until you feel a click. There you go. Do you get the click? And again, so we'll do this other one here. There we got the click, and we'll go opposite again. There we go. There we go. And that's them all done. Just a very quick so that's all those torqued up. Now if you're going to come and check the torque settings before every journey, that sort of stuff, check that it's all right, what I would recommend you doing is actually just slackening it off first, then resetting the torque. There we go, wait for it. Click, there we go. Because if you're coming continually and doing that click, that click, that click, that click, is just moving it on just a little bit tighter every time, and they're going to keep tightening those nuts up. So if you're regularly checking the torque settings on your tyres, what I would do is definitely just ease it off, then tighten it up then. But I generally check before every journey anyway, or after work's been done. What I'll probably do with this as well is when we go out on our first run, since I've changed the wheel, probably after about 30 miles, just stop and just check the torque setting, or just check those nuts are tight as well. So what I'll do now is I'll check that it's set to the correct tyre pressure. I did get the guys at the tyre place to set it for me, but the weight plate tells me 32 psi. So let's put that on there. Let's set the device for, has this been left on and gone flat? Power, no. So let's set it to 32. So that's set to 32. Turn it on. Yeah, we must be good. Yeah, so it was already set it correctly for me, so that's fine. So that's all good. Let's put the tyre power sender back on. Make sure we get that on nice. And put that away. So that's me changing the tyre on the Caravan. At least I discovered it when we were coming up to storage, just to put things away in the Caravan, and not when I'm coming to collect it before we go away. So relatively easy. Again, please remember safety, particularly around the jacking. Don't get underneath the Caravan if it's not supported on axle stands and stuff and it's just on your jack. So please guys, take care when jacking up the Caravan. Well, I hope you find that useful. All that's left for me to do is refit the Alko lock, put the steadies down on the other side of the Caravan, lock up, and I'll head back home. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. hit the notification bell and you'll get notified when we put out new content. So thank you very much, you take care, and we'll see you soon.